installation and operation of vacuum rapid hot pressing furnace. Connect air compressor power. Connect air compressor air line. Turn on the air compressor switch. Connect vacuum pump power. Connect vacuum pump. The other section of the bellows is connected to the vacuum pipe. This is the hydraulic pump sensor wire. This is the oil pipe. This is the B-oil pipe. Oil pipe is connected below the equipment. B-oil pipe is connected to the top of the equipment. The one with corrugated tube is the power cord. The one without bellows is the signal line. First connect the pressure sensor of the hydraulic pump station. This is flat. The socket faces the flat needle. Fix the screws. Equipment as a line oil pipe. This is the line oil pipe of the pumping station. Remove the connectors at both ends. This connector is hollow. This place needs to be tightened. This is the B-line oil pipe of the equipment. Then connect to the B-line connector of the hydraulic pump station. Remove the connector here first. This connector is M18. First connect the signal line connector of the hydraulic pump station. Align the groove inside this. Tighten. Finally connect the power cord of the hydraulic pump station. Align the grooves inside. Tighten. There are 4 connectors on the back of the chiller. On the left is Izuku, cold water outlet. Then on the far right is the cold water inlet. Normally, fill it up with water through the tap water inlet first. Fill the water tank inside. Then this is the overflow port. If the water overflows, it will be unsafe for the equipment inside. While a tap water entrance, when you pour water into it, you need to pay attention to this cold water line. Do not exceed the highest standard line. Cold water outlet of chiller. This thick piece is connected to the water inlet of the equipment. It's written on this. Then connect these 2 thin wires to the water inlet of the heating power supply. This is the water inlet for the heating power supply. Regardless of left or right, cold water inlet of chiller. This thick one is from the water outlet of the device. The water outlet written above, cold water inlet connected to chiller. This thick one, these 2 thin ones, is from the heating power supply just now. Cold water inlet connected to chiller. The 2 cold water inlets are the outlets for the heating power supply, access to the entrance of the chiller. This is the drain outlet of the water tank of the chiller. Drainage can be quickly drained from here. This is the trachea of the pressure cylinder. Connect it to the air input port of the device. This is the power cord for the chiller. The chiller has 3 380 3-phase wires, 1 neutral wire and 1 ground wire. When picking up 380, it says RST on it. This needs attention. Chiller alarm. You need to shut down at this time, then readjust the phase sequence. Power connection. This is the total power supply to the device. Turn on the main power first. This is the main power supply of the hydraulic pump station. Push it up. This is the 220-volt main power supply for the device. It includes screen, vacuum gauge, molecular pump. Everything is controlled by this switch. Before starting the device, turn on the chiller first. Turn on the compressor. Turn on the molecular pump power. Turn on the vacuum gauge power. After the vacuum gauge is powered on, The vacuum needs to be preheated by this vacuum gauge to be accurate. Turn on the main power of the device. First open the shut switch of the water inlet. Then turn on the shut switch of the water outlet. Check for leaks in 4 places in total. This is the exit and entrance of the first chiller. The second place is the shut switch of our equipment. The third place, water inlet and outlet of heating power supply. Is there any water leakage? Hydraulic fan water inlet outlet. Is there any water leakage at the water inlet and outlet of the molecular pump? Hydraulic pump station water inlet. Is there any water leakage from the water outlet? Check the water inlet and outlet of the vacuum chamber. Is there any water leakage? Check the vacuum chamber water inlet. From the water outlet to the water inlet and outlet of the chamber door. Is there any water leakage? First introduce how to operate the screen. The leftmost is the vacuum value. He wrote it was the vacuum value of the tank. Molecular pump is the speed of molecular pump. The maximum is 400 Hz. Molecular pump vacuum value is the vacuum value of the molecular pump chamber. Then implement pressure and set. Pressure is the data of the vacuum pump station. We can set the pressure we want from here. Then click on pressurize. From the perspective of actual pressure, here you can get the real pressure used in the experiment. Then here is the status of the heating power supply. When heating under normal working conditions, working status is red. The power state is when the power supply fails. It will turn red. The far left here is the measured temperature. The lowest measured temperature is 21 degrees. On the right is the preset temperature. Is the preset temperature of the current segment. Then the curve number. It is the recipe number in the curve settings. A total of 1 到5% regraphs. Let's go back to the first one. This is heating. You can click pause during the heating process. If you want to stop heating, you can click stop on the right. Here are the pressure and pressure relief. It controls the pressurization and pressure relief of the hydraulic pump station. This is to obtain a vacuum, which is to extract the vacuum in the vacuum chamber. Here when smoking, or when you reach the vacuum value you want, stop vacuuming. Then release the vacuum chamber. Need to release vacuum. Need to be below 350 degrees. Only then can he be released successfully. Otherwise, let's release the vacuum. He won't open the air release valve. We need to manually click to open it. Then this lighting switch is in our vacuum chamber. Lighting lights, for example, start from the lowest temperature of 700 degrees. Just click to turn on the light. Want to switch language? Need to click to return. Here you can choose the language you want. Set the heating curve first. This curve is set according to your own process.
Burn to 2000到1200 degrees, then 1200到1300 degrees, 1300到1400 degrees, 1400到1500 degrees, 1500到1600 degrees.
Then perform a heat preservation.
300到1200 degrees here.
The set rate is 6 seconds. Need to set R5. It will automatically calculate. After setting the parameters, the last paragraph needs to be set to -121. Need to set R1 inside. Fill in the required pressure after each temperature section. For example, the first section requires 6 tons. Just fill in 4. The second section requires lubricants, fill-in valve, and so on. The base retainer is at the bottom. This is the base. This is a mold. This is a heating jacket, insulation jacket. This is the downward pressure head. Need to hold up the mold. Install the base retainer first. Reinstall the base. Next, install the mold. Then install the thermal insulation sheath. Requires attention. There is an infrared sensing hole here. You need to face this hole here. Install insulation cotton. Then install the lower pressure head. After the parts are installed, turn on the infrared sensor switch. After opening, need to determine the infrared sensor. Is there a hole for infrared rays to pass through the sheath? Irradiate the mold. This time you need to confirm. Infrared rays. Is there a camera hole through this sheath? Irradiate the mold. Turn on your phone as front camera. Put it here and don't block the infrared hole. Then you can determine. The light is not shining into the hole now. At this time, you need to rotate and adjust the sheath. Okay, now, rays accurately illuminates the mold. Now press the lower head tightly against the mold by rotating the above wire. Make sure the lower ejector is tight and then close the chamber door. The following is the specific operation. First, vacuum. Get vacuum. Vacuum value is drawn below 10 Pa. Start the molecular pump. The molecular pump cannot be started now. It must be below 10 Pa before it can be started. Otherwise, the fan blades of the molecular pump will be damaged. At present, the vacuum has been pumped down to 10 Pa. Can start molecular pump. The molecular pump value will drop from 400 to 0. Then it goes up from 0. This means that the molecular pump starts to rotate. Wait until the vacuum is almost complete. You can click to stop the vacuum. Then be sure to stop the vacuum. Turn off the molecular pump. Can no longer acquire and release vacuum. Turn off the molecular pump. Now the vacuum state is stopped. The molecular pump can now be turned off. We click close. After stopping the vacuum, need to go inside the tank. Enter protective gas. Open the high purity argon cylinder valve. Then open the gas manual valve of the device. Then you can see the gas core pressure value that needs to be entered reaches 0.05. Close the valve of the high purity argon cylinder to stop gas delivery. The curve parameters have been set previously. Now you can start heating. Then click on pressurize. The device is now in this running state. During the heating process, this surface setting cannot be clicked. When heating ends, if you want to end it manually, you can click to stop. Then stop depressurizing. Just stop pressurizing.